So I thought this video, and it's quite good. It's Donald Butler helped us with this. That's my Uncle Tom. It's my Aunt Pat in 1949. There's my Aunt Betty. She's been passed away for probably maybe 10 years. I think she passed away before Dad. She had a tough life. Beautiful. And my Aunt Donna, one of my favorites. Donna was, oh, she was golden. I loved her and Clem. Just incredible, incredible. Turn it down a little bit, see if you can hear me a little bit better. And my Aunt Pauline, who I've really grown to love. She's just was moved into a home just above Aunt Pat. They live in the same complex. They're both in their 90s. In their 90s. You know, my Aunt Pauline was doing a 1 mile a day walking just before she, I think she fell and she had to go into the facility. But and there's Sterling. Sterling just happened to get into the wrong crowd probably. I don't know much about him. I know he was kind of a little bit wild. I've got some stories about Sterling that I'm going to have to tell. And there's my dad, Brent. Look at that little boy. He's the young one. And Wesley. Dad had a nephew, kind of like some of our family. Dad had a nephew that was, I think, a year younger or 2 years younger than him. So that's Wesley. I believe he was Aunt Betty's son. There's Lynn and Larry. Dad's little older brothers. I think Larry was 2 or 3 years older, and maybe Lynn was probably another 2 or 3. I think it was about every 2 years for the family mostly. That's Betty, Wesley. That's my grandpa there. My grandfather in the hat. I never really got to know him because he died when Dad was 10. There's Clem, Uncle Clem. He married Aunt Donna. And Wayne. Wayne was, I believe, Aunt Betty's. Don't correct. I think it was Aunt Betty's husband. And then there's Betty, Christina, Beulah, Butler, Miles. Oh, I just love that woman. You got to get into her story. Yep, that's her. That's her. Definitely. That's her. I would have loved to have. She looked like a lot of fun. Yeah. I think Dad knew her a little bit. I don't know when she passed away. I think 61. So Dad would have been a high school age. Yeah, she's got some history. She's got some of that ancestry of us starving to death, and now we can't even eat more than a potato, or we all grow up, blow up into these, bigger people, because our ancestors kind of set us. They could live on 1 potato a week. Yeah, and if I eat 1 potato a day, I gain weight. Dang it. There's Grandpa Wes. Oh, there's some stories about him. That guy was, I think he led Stan down into the, construction industry. And then there's Paul. Uncle Paul was unbelievable. And I think Paul Butler, I don't think that was Uncle Paul. But I am not sure. I'm going to have to double check on that. So this is Wes, Elsie, Wyatt, Bud, Thelma. Yeah, you can read there. Grandma Miles. I heard a lot of stories about Grandma Miles. In fact, I think, and there's my grandma. The blue dress on the outside, yep. And I think that was, boy, it sure looked like Loa in that one picture right there. Yes, there's Uncle Paul right here. That's Uncle Paul, and there's Loa. That's RJ's grandmother. Yeah, Janice's mother. Janice and Rob. So there's Uncle Paul, and there's my grandpa, Wes. A little shorter, but Uncle Paul was tall. We had some tall genes. We really did. I think Stan's children are up in the 6'10" range. But there's my Grandpa Wes. He was a character. I've heard some real interesting stories about Grandpa Wes. I get them from Aunt Pauline. I try to record them, so I'm going to try and share them and everything. And there's Uncle Paul. Boy, talk about some great stories. This is the guy that we went to Tijuana with, and we had bullets. Yeah, we had bullets, and we had my big truck, my big 70 Cummins. We were hunters, and he got us out of there without going to jail. And that's his wife, Loa. Once again, that's Janice and Rob's mom. I think June was next, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Uncle Paul, the red hair. That looks like Lacey's red hair. I'm not kidding you, because Grandma Richardson had red hair, and I always wonder because Lacey's hair was just a little bit different color than her mom's. You know, it was like that dark red of Uncle Paul. And there's my grandma. That's the only grandma I ever knew, Grandma Richardson. Boy, I've got some stories to tell you there, because I remember going to her house and sleeping over. And one time I was in the hippie generation. I split my pants all the way up to my hip, I think, hip bone. I tell you. And she immediately had me in there, and she sewed them all right back up. Hippie generation, she was not part of. Look at my grandpa. He's teasing my grandma. Yeah, he's patting her ear. I bet she's ready to kill him. But Grandpa was great. I hear some great stories about him bringing family back and forth to the church. You know, he was the first to jump on when the boys or the girls needed something in the church. You know, needed a ride somewhere. And there's Grandma Miles again. I don't remember how much I knew of her. I know we had some other Butlers and Bulows and stuff that came to family reunions that we had, but boy, we had some amazing reunions back in the day. I mean, I know it was Aunt Berla's probably worst nightmare to have over 100 people show up at her house, and generally had to feed them for a couple of days because we were there for the pheasant hunt. And oh, what a great woman! And you know, Uncle Lynn, fabulous. And their children are even better. I tell you, Mark went through life like I wished I could have, just because this kid had all the friends in high school. I mean, you should have seen the turnout at his funeral. I mean, they say the good die young, truly. Mark Richardson died young. And that's Larry. And there's Dad, 1953. So Dad would have been 10 years old right there. Look at that face. Boy, that kid, you know, no braces back then. I know what it was like. I never got braces, and yeah, my teeth have never been very good anyway. I don't know if it's a Richardson thing or what, but that almost looks like maybe it was down by the park, maybe the Benjamin Park, but yeah, what a beautiful family we have. And some of them, without them saying who they are, I really don't know who they are. But this movie is quite old. I think it is quite old. So, but I wanted to share this with you because it's about our family. You know, there's Grandma Richardson back up there, and this might have been one of her, Grandma Richardson's mothers. I think Grandma Miles was. And there's Donna and Greg. So we know Greg. Greg's still with us. He's doing great. Greg's a good man. Good man. And there's Aunt Gloria. She was Uncle Tom. If you remember Uncle Tom, that was her or his wife. Yeah, the babies, just little babies. These are all my cousins. They're quite a bit, well, I don't know how much older they are than me, but Cynthia, yeah, see, I was born in 65, so Cynthia was older. I think Cynthia passed away, if I remember correctly, and at least I hope so. I don't, I don't hope so. I just hope I'm not cursing her, but yeah, this is a fun family. Wesley and Wayne. And so I believe Wesley and Wayne were Aunt Pat. Boy, that Wesley. Huh. I'll have to go back and look at that one again. But these are more cousins. You know, they're a little bit older cousins. Like I said, Dad had a nephew that was a year younger or 2 years younger than him. And that was Wesley, that's true. And there's Rob. That would be Uncle Paul's son. Yep. And if you remember Uncle Paul, like I said, he was the one that I think he got everybody a ring. You know, he showed us around San Diego. He took us to Tijuana. Yeah, Uncle Paul was a great man. And these are all the older ones that I never really got to know. I mean, I get to know them on Family Search, and you know, their stories are wonderful. So publish their stories. There's my Grandma Pauline, and maybe they'll tell us who's with her, but I'm not sure. I might have to find out, and then I will give you the information. Because I noticed some of this video is probably, you know, we need to put the more names into it if we know who they are. And so if I haven't added it, let me know and I'll add you in. So there's Uncle Tom. He was the oldest of Dad's brothers. Cynthia's there. All the girls. So Tom's had a big family. I think he had 10. There's Grandma. There's Thelma. Not quite sure on Thelma who she is, but I should know. Grandma Richardson. And trying to figure out when this was, you know, we're probably late 50s, you know. So Grandma Richardson would have been about 50 years old then. And yeah, without knowing Jim, Greg, or John, I know Jim and John were twins, and so they came a little bit before me. So I need to put names with these because I just don't know. And there's Clem and Julie, okay. And I know Julie. She's a cutie. In fact, I think I saw her at this last family reunion. Uncle Clem was always golden. I tell you, that guy had the light of Christ. And like, you know, all the family did. They just loved you, you know, and it's like so wonderful to have a family, you know, that is that big. Because some people don't have a big family. You know, there's Aunt Pauline, recognized her. And so that must have been around Dad's graduation. Dad graduated in 61. So that's Aunt Pat in 61. I mean, just beautiful. I mean, doesn't she look like, I was thinking that Mickey Mouse girl, Annette Funicello or something. She would, yeah. Don't know this lady. Don't know. Oh, no. Actually, Aunt Pat looks like, oh my heavens, she looks a lot like, that one actress. Oh, I can't think of it. Yeah. Yep. And it's just a younger Jim Richardson in high school. Maybe that was Dad. I don't know. It kind of looked like Stan. But Stan and Dad had a little bit alike. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.